Welcome back to another video. We're going to take a look at how we can change the axis of a 3D scan element within CATIA V5. So this will be the case study part, the Makita case. This is available on Artec 3D. I will also put the video, the link for the model within the video description. So the available file format for this are OBJ, PLI, WRL, and also Blender. I made use of the OBJ file format to generate an STL that can be used within CATIA. So let's jump within CATIA. I will go to Start, Shape, Digitize Shape Editor, since we're going to add a 3D scan. I will create a new part. As you can see over here, I also have the axis system generated on creation. For this case study, I recommend that you also enable this. So you will go up to Tools, Options, and within the infrastructure, go to Part Infrastructure category. And over here for part document, we're going to see when creating part, check the Create an Axis System. So we see the axis system over here. I will import the Makita model. As you can see, I have it on my desktop. I will just hit apply. And we're going to see how CATIA will start to load that STL file. It will take a while because the model is quite detailed, but it should be around, let's say, I estimate that around 20 seconds for this STL. And we see that the file it's slowly starting to be processed. Even though this is not responding, keep in mind that CATIA will manage to have this open. Now with the recording, maybe that also takes some resources. And we have the 3D model loaded. And as you can see, the model and our initial reference are quite misaligned. So that means if I'm going to go over here and, for example, go to the top view, the top view will look like this, but the top view will not be aligned to the 3D model. There are multiple workflows that can be taken for this one. I will show you how you can add an axis system based on a plane on the 3D model. So to do that, we're going to need to define the ground plane of this scanned asset. So I'll go to Start, Shape, and Quick Surface Reconstruction. Within Quick Surface Reconstruction, I will go to Basic Surface Recognition. I will choose the method to be plane. For the cloud, I will select the Makita case. And afterwards, we have over here the Activate. Click on that button. And I will go for the mode to be brush. And within brush mode, I'm going to zoom in on the bottom of the 3D scan. And I will select some areas which will be used to define that bottom plane. So I will try to position those on the middle section over here, where we have that wall thickness. And at the end, you can click on OK. And we're going to see how CATIA will generate a plane based on those. So we have those probing points. I will hit apply. And we're going to see that newly defined plane. Since this is a plane, we can visually extend it over here. Keep in mind that this will be infinite. But if you want to visually, let's say, see this better, I highly recommend that you're going to extend this past the part. And we see how the plane was generated. We have a little bit of clipping over here and over here as well. But other than that, this will all be within the same plane. We see the standard deviation position over here. Afterwards, I will click OK. Now, with this plane defined, we have the possibility to define a new axis system. Within Quick Surface Reconstruction, if I will go to Start, afterwards, we're going to see that we have the transformation over here, but this will be axis to axis. But if I will go to Part Design, for example, and afterwards on Insert, we have the possibility to add a new axis system. And within the definition, we can specify over here the creation method. So for the origin, I will right click, afterwards create a point. I will select a point on the surface of the newly defined plane. For example, let's say over here. I will hit OK, and afterwards we need to define the axis. As we can see, the orientation of the newly defined axis system will be the same as the initial one, but we know that that will not be aligned to the element. Therefore, I can define the x-axis. For example, I can make the x-axis be that one, the y-axis that one, and we're going to see that the z-axis will be automatically generated based on those, since this will be perpendicular to the ground plane. If you want, you can also reverse it over here. That will take the z to be pointing downwards. But for this case study, this will be fine. So now if I will hit OK, we're going to see that we have a new axis system defined over here. This will be also selected over here with orange. That means that this is the active one. And now if I will go, for example, within a top view, we're going to see that this top view will be aligned to our part. If you want to swap back to the original axis system, you can go over here and you can have this again activated. If I'm going to define this in the work object, we're going to see that that won't activate it. But if I'm going to go over here and I will deactivate the other system, and I will double click on this one. And now if I will go within the top view, we're going to see that the top view will again follow the absolute system, which will be misaligned with our 3D scan. So whenever you want to activate a new axis system, because you can have more than two, you can go over here, object properties, have that activated. And now if I'm going to press on the top view, we're going to see that it still won't be active. I'm also going to need to go over here, so set as current. And with set as current, we're going to see that it will have that orange outline. If I'm going to press over here, that will take me normal too. So the same I can do over here, set as current. So it's not, let's say, mandatory that you go and deactivate it. You can just set as current. That you're going to keep both of those active, but you can just swap between those. So maybe it's a, let's say, a faster workflow without having to deactivate those. Okay, so that's how you can define an axis system. Mostly for 3D scan elements, you will have to define that in order to properly position the part, so you can do the reverse engineering for that. So I will also make another video, and we're going to see how we can also change the location of the STL. So if you find this video useful, I'm going to position a similar video to this one, so over here to the left. I will also add this to the CATIA V5 tips and tricks playlist, and I will also put a subscribe button to the right. So I hope you find this video useful. Thanks for watching.